We found ourselves in Bellingham, lost, without any idea of where we were or where we needed to go to get to where we wanted to be. Well, we knew south, but that wasn't specific enough for our certain circumstance. Lucky enough for us, we ran into a cyclist that looked geared up enough to know a thing or two about cycling within his city. We explained our predicament, and he began to give directions, saying this way and that road, and then he said, just follow me. So we did. He agreed to tour us through the Bellingham streets until we got to a point from which we could go no wrong directions, saying over his shoulder a thing or two which, at least to my ears, were indiscriminate. Nice fellow. I think his name was James. He cared about our safety. Now you may be wondering why we were in Bellingham, lost at all. Well, you see, Mr. Patterson and I decided to go to Portland. We'd never done any big bicycling before, but we figured we'd hop on our bikes and soon enough we'd get there. This is the story of how we got there.
And we can take this little road that just, instead of following one way, we can just go right.
What road is that? 12? The green one or the red?
We can go to the green one, or we can go to the one that cuts over to the... Just one.
Well, we found ourselves on the side of the cliff, looking down over Deception Pass. Though it didn't deceive us much. The blue was as crystal as the sky. Can you hear me? I'm not sure where we are in this shot, but it looks like America. You can tell by that white SUV we just passed.
We made our way down the Washington coast, keeping to the scenic as much as possible.
This was a funky corner. I don't know where it is. Oh, yo, I know where this is. We just come off Chuckanut Drive, and we were rolling through the town?
We had a couple of places in mind to pitch tent, but other than that, it was pretty free range.
Go in or not?
Don't make it to your brother, please, darling.
A little sour?
A little sour.
You just keep it all to
That was yummy. Definitely yummy.
I don't want you to tell
My cousin
nobody.
Noah once told me he thinks that the bicycle is mankind's greatest invention. And at this point, I think I'd have to agree. What the bicycle can do in terms of transportation, community, service, and leisure and otherwise is unparalleled by anything I've come to witness.
When you meet other people that tour by bicycle, there is a unique and meaningful connection, but it's full of duality. On one hand, there's deep understanding and connection to what you're doing. On the other, you have no idea why the person is doing it. Some people may be running away from something, while others may be trying to find something. Still, there are those that just like the road, the travel. I'm not sure if any of us know just which one we are, but it's most likely a combination of all three. But it doesn't really matter. Most people look at you with a bike full of gear and 1,000 kilometers ahead of you and think you're absolutely nuts. People who cycle tour look at you with your thousands of kilometers and your bike full of gear and think that you get it. Although you don't exactly know what they get. They just get something that you also get. But the reasons for why you get it and why they get it could be completely different. It's that sort of mystery that allows for a deep connection to spark without having to be that intimate with someone.
So, there's one bed there, one bed here.
Wow, this is insane.
I can't
I can't believe like how amazing this is. Yeah.
So, if you want to pee, if you pee, it'll go down into this thing, which is
okay.
best. If you poop, there's a peat moss down there, and then you just take this, and
Wicked. And then do you use that out anywhere?
I mean, it's not something you want to do, at least do a vegetable. You could use it in a flower garden.
Yeah.
Well, Maximus, day one was a success.
Yes, it was.
Don and Carol were two of the nicest people I've ever met. They introduced me to a level of hospitality that I did not know existed. At the same time they put us up, they were also hosting a family from Taiwan, a husband and wife on a 3-year tour of America with 2-year-old twins along with them. Some people are crazy. Anyhow, we slept in luxury. Max got a bed, I got a floor. And the room was equipped with a bathroom, a fridge, and even Wi-Fi. Not to forget the 2 croissants they set out for us, the 2 sparkly fizzy drinks, and the homemade jam. We spent the morning with Don and Carol and the Taiwanese family, making breakfast, sharing brief stories, and enjoying their garden. Hey, buddy. We set out far too late that morning, but it was well worth it. I should hope to see Don and Carol again someday. you ever go on a long-distance bike trip, I highly recommend you get an early start. We didn't, and that meant we biked until the early hours of morning for the first few days to make the headway we anticipated. There were points of near-delusional exhaustion that, I'll have to admit, were a little fun. You'd feel your body running out of energy and your mind beginning to play tricks on you.
There's definitely something in those bushes over there. Really? Yeah, I can hear it.
At times in the pitch black, it was really quite hard to tell if you were biking up or down.
What? This is downhill? I don't know. I don't think we're going up.
Whether it was raining or not, and how fast you were going.
Definitely up.
The only saving grace was pure sugar.
Is there one left?
Yeah.
You have it.
Oh, there might be, no, there's two. Well, Max, we made it.
Yeah, we did it.
Made it to this Olympus.
However much fun the psychosis was,
Oh, so the tent while we wait?
Yeah, I'm just gonna serve my food and then I'm gonna set it up.
I think if I were to do it again, I might not bike until 2 in the morning quite as often.
So we've gone from here all the way down and then across there, and now we're here in Arctic. Now we go from here, South Bend, down the coast, Long Beach is where we're kind of ending up. It's only about like 75 or less. But then we are gonna go like that. Then we're gonna go like that. So about 75, I'd say, to up. And then if you take this stick right here, all the little bits of it, and put it against the scale over here, approximately 75, I'd say. All right.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Those are really cool to go.
Yeah. Where are we at, Max?
We are in Elma.
Hoppin' Elma.
Off in Elma. Came from...
Oh, we can go.
We arrived in Portland a day earlier than anticipated, and seeing as we had set up no accommodations, we booked a hotel. It was a nice change of pace after 4 days of sleeping outside and waking up with sore, creaky legs on a firm camping mat. At this point in the story, I ran out of space on the camera, so there's not much else to see. But we stayed with a fellow named Michael, who let us crash at his place for a good 4 days while we explored Portland. His hospitality, too, was far beyond what I would have ever imagined, letting us use his place and his car as storage while we did basically whatever we wanted in Portland. We toured the city, taking in all it had to offer. Fantastic food, interesting shops and streets, and even a few shows. It didn't really matter what we did in Portland. Both of us had already had more adventure than we could have dreamed of. And so, from here on out, it was basically just good old vacation.
Alright.
What'd you get?
Got some ramen.
Nice.
Shoyu.
Show you. Oh, I see.
Slipped.
Ah. There. Where did you get the bread from?
Right there.
Oh, it's just communal up there.
Well, I just asked for some and they
Oh,
brought it out.
fantastic.
There. Ready for more zapping?
Sure, thank you.
There's spoons in there.
Great.
There's small and big spoons both.
Oh, great.
Just a heads up, we're probably going to be closing around 9.
What time is it now? Oh, that's a half-hour wait. Easy. I can eat this in a half hour easily. Thanks for the warning. Oh, no, that was yours.
Yeah.
That was yours. This one's mine. That one is yours. Don't want that one. So that thing is good for cutting fat things like this. Take it up and put it in there. It's for cutting bagels and things like that.
Eventually, we took the train back up to Vancouver, which was a part of the journey I had been particularly looking forward to. Trains are special. They give you a sort of sense of wonder about the world you're passing by, and the world inside the train, for that matter. It was a time to reflect on all that had just happened for each of us. We didn't really talk much on the ride home. This film does not have a point. Biking to Portland did not have a point. The only point was to do it. Just like this film. The only point was to make it. But if this film did have a point, one point would be to tell the story of Max and I's journey down to Portland. It was hard. It was fucking hard, and the film should reflect that. We had far exceeded what we knew to be physically possible within our own bodies. Biking for 4.5 days straight. Most well over the 100-kilometer range. We biked through mountain passes. We biked through coastal riversides, small towns that bear no mention. We entered into a new mode of transportation that is a bit unorthodox in our automobile-centric world. And I found the trip to be far more satisfying than any engine could have ever provided. On a bike, you are the trip. You feel every moment passed, and the trip is just as much inside of you as it is outside. We weren't that experienced. We didn't plan that much ahead. We brought a little bit of food, some portable stoves, some light camping gear, and a map. Biking to Portland kind of sucked. It was hot. My legs were sore every day. We were eating shitty food. My ass was sore constantly. My arms were tired. My mind exhausted. Despite the fact that it sucked, it was one of the most beautiful, challenging, wonderful, debilitating experiences of my life. And I can't wait for another one. And so the point of this film is to point out the relationship that exists between sucking and awesome, between difficult and satisfying, between uncomfortable and blissful. And that the hard things in life are what make a life worth living. It's what creates the memories that lights you up on the dark days. It's what creates the photo albums and the stories that you tell your grandchildren or your friends or your psychiatrist. And so the point of this film is to inspire you to go out and do something shitty.
See the stone set in your eye.
We made it to Oregon. Woo! look like such a cyclist right now.
Yeah, you
Like the most cyclist I've ever looked.
Sleight of hand and twist of fate on a bed of nails. She looks
How do you look cool? I don't get it.
and I wait without you. With or without you.
I know, I just said that.
You're a narc. That's a you're a fucking narc.
Hey! Put on your helmet!